everybody. Thanks for being here. So today we are going to do a presentation on college athletes and that they should be paid. So I want you all to imagine that you're running down a field and then all of a sudden you hear a snap. In that split second, your entire life changes. You lose your scholarship, you lose your chance of going pro, and you fall behind in school. But with no money saved up, now what?
Hello, I'm John. We're going to go over why we think college students should be paid for playing college sports. Scholarships provide athletes with instruction to and guidelines on and off the field, but what that means is we're going to touch on some points, which is scholarships, injuries, and revenue. And for scholarships, what scholarships do cover are boards, the boarding, room, and their tuition, but it doesn't cover everything. For example, they're traveling back and forth to home, so an emergency, that is somewhat covered, but it has to be within Red Cross rights and stuff like that. So it gets into really murky water, but for its travel, which you can live at school 365 days, you gotta have some way of getting around, which they don't cover that. And something that I saw on Real Sports with Brian Gilmore was that he talked about the hours that are put in for these scholarships. So they spend about 40 hours on the field and off the field, because it's not just on the field, it's sometimes classroom stuff you have to do too. But also, aside from their studies, which is about 30 hours plus, including class time and study time, just for their particular degree that they're going for. So they spend anywhere from 70 hours a week just in sports to their schoolwork. So they don't have a chance to get a job or anything like that. So they're kind of shunned from making a living. So I was looking up also, Tim Tebow played for the University of Florida, and I guess when he was there, he was really popular, because of course he won a championship. But I think he sold like 3 million of his jerseys while he was there. Now, he got no revenue for that. Of course, he did go to the NFL, but after he left, he got even bigger, and they continue to make money off of his jersey, but still, he doesn't get anything from that. The school continues to thrive on, on his work. And also, I have a parent that lives, they're in my neighborhood, but it's not really close, but we talk to each other because our kids play sports together. And his daughter had to drop out of volleyball because she just couldn't keep up. She's like, well, I had no time myself to go to class and to practice, because volleyball is everything and it's not. Like people think, well, you go to practice and then you go to a meet or whatever. It's not that. It's more to that, because they have to do time within study time for the actual sport. So they may be sitting in class for hours just learning about the sport itself. And one of the other things is that he mentioned is that the coaches changed while she was there, which that was a problem too, because their way of doing things changes. So they don't get a choice in who's doing what. If a new coach comes in, they can say, well, we don't think you're fit, and they lose a scholarship, which is what brings us back to one-year contracts or one-year scholarships that they get, and it's renewed each year, so some stress involved if you don't perform. And also, I was looking at UConn back in 2014, their number one point guard, Shabazz Napier. Napier, he said he went hungry and he won a championship for the Final Four. And their star player said he went hungry. And he's bringing millions of dollars. Of course, he sells the jerseys. He ended up going to the NBA as well, but of course he could speak out because he was going to the NBA. But during his school year, he would never said anything like that, because they might have benched him and they'll bring the next best thing. And he's sitting on the bench and he would have lost the shot. So, but he spoke out on his way out, which is what a lot of them do. And how do colleges, pay for their coaches when they don't pay their students? That's kind of what we're all about. So they get millions of dollars, students get zero. And an injury off the field or on the field can cause them to lose their scholarship, because if you can't perform, you're of no use. And some may think scholarships are enough, but what happens to an athlete, his or her injury is severe enough where they can't play good. And Hannah's going to go over injuries.
Hi guys, I'm Hannah. So, first off, in 2014, the NCAA and the U.S. Department of Defense conducted the most in-depth research on college sports and injuries. They came to the conclusion that football has the highest concussion rate out of any college sport. And they also found that between 2005 and 2009, more college athletes died from heat stroke than in the past 35 years. They also found that one of the most common causes of injuries is actually due to overuse. With football, while they do have the highest concussion rate, they also have the highest injury rate. You have 50-50% chance that you are more likely to get a lower limb injury than any other sport. Second most common injury being a hip injury. And most of these are due to either overuse or using AstroTurf instead of grass. The three most injury-prone sports for colleges is football, gymnastics, and soccer. While the schools might help if you get an injury, scholarships do nothing. They don't pay for your doctor's bills. They don't pay for that extra year of school you have to take because you were injured and you fell behind. And like I said, while schools help a little bit, the rest fall on the students and their families. While these students are worrying about doctor's bills and doctor's visits and their schoolwork itself and trying to maintain that scholarship still, the NCAA and these colleges are collecting on these students' talents. Now Spreet's going to talk about the NCAA and revenue.
Thank you, Hannah. So the revenue for the NCAA in 2015 was $912 million. So that's just what they collected overall in the year. And then in 2011, they signed a $11 billion deal with CBS to broadcast March Madness, which is a basketball tournament that only lasts 1 month out of the whole year. So that's $11 billion for 1 year, which comes out to, or throughout the year, but it comes out to $850 million per year, and that's just for 1 month out of the whole year. And then these guys, these are some of the top schools here, just kind of covered by region. And so that's the list of the top 5 schools. Most of these schools on here earn well over $100 million a year just from revenue. And then so as these schools are kind of collecting all this money, the players that are providing, all this, the game and winning and all that, they're receiving none of it. And then the coaches, however, are making millions. So you have guys like Jim Harbaugh, Nick Saban, and Urban Meyer who are making, close to $7 million a year, and their players are not seeing any of it at all. And they're putting in the most time. And those are top-ranked schools, so they require a lot of practice, weight room, film study, and games. And all these schools are filling in stands with over 70,000 people each weekend. So that's bringing in a lot of revenue. And also, a lot of these coaches, they earn more in 1 year than the top-ranked professors at their notable schools do in their tenure there. And also on top of that, these coaches can also collect endorsements, which the players cannot. So they're not allowed to take any type of compensation during their entire time there. They can't sell their jersey just to kind of make extra cash. And for the school, they sell the jerseys, as John covered. They fill the stands, and most of the money they bring in is through TV. More people watch through the TV. So overall, though, we don't think they should be getting paid like a pro level. Obviously, we think a minimum wage at least, just to kind of cover everyday expenses, food, clothing, just stuff so they can get a part-time job. And then this would also force them to create like a financial awareness. So I read a stat that said 60% of retired NBA players go broke within the first 5 years of retirement. And that's because a lot of these guys, they come in for 1 year, see that they're not getting anything, they're winning a championship for their school, and then they want to go pro where they can actually make money. And also, we think paying them would encourage them to stay in school for all 4 years rather than just doing the 1 year and done. And then we found this cool little picture here. So you got 2 athletes kind of pulling the NCAA, and then it's saying no money, no gifts, no cars, no endorsement deals. tell me why we were doing this. And he says, for an education, but I'm not feeling too smart. And then, so that was our presentation, and now Colby and Matt are going to take over why we shouldn't pay college athletes.